have just found on the rocky shore something I have wanted to see for years. I have found a real life actual zombie. Okay, I haven't lost my mind. Yes, I can see that this is a crab. This is in fact a species of crab in the UK that you can find called an edible crab. And at first glance, I always check when I hold a crab if there are eggs underneath it. Because if there are eggs, I don't want to pick up the crab or I want to put it back. I want to make sure that that creature has the best chance with all its little baby lives and all its little babies to go off and live their amazing lives. They already have enough to deal with in the sea than someone bugging them when they're carrying eggs. But this is different. This, although it looks like it's carrying eggs, is not actually eggs. This is a parasite called sacculina, and it is a parasitic barnacle. So usually barnacles are everywhere and they look like, however, I just picked up the one rock in the ocean that doesn't have a barnacle on, and they look like this. It has a hard shell, a little tiny doors, and if this was underwater and feeding, you could see these little fluffy legs pop out. Now they don't look anything like what is on the bottom of this. It is, but nevertheless, it is a species of barnacle. And what this barnacle does is it goes into the crab and it starts to grow through the abdomen, through the organs, and it controls the crab. It changes the hormones of a crab to make male and female crabs exhibit the behavior of rearing its eggs. And what it does is it controls the crab and it grows in itself until it is ready again to spread, and it even gets crabs, both male and female, to exhibit behaviours like wafting. So when it wants to hatch, the crabs will waft the eggs away to give them the best chance of going into the water. It can replicate all of that. Fortunately, there isn't much you can do for a crab in this situation. Once it's kind of done, the parasite disappears off, goes off to form parasites in other crabs. The crab will pass away. So this poor little fella is not going to do very well, but it is absolutely awesome to see, because parasitic relationships are parasitic and sort of host are these relationships that are ongoing. You know, the parasite never wants to take over too many crabs, that there are never crabs again for it to kind of take hold and breed and grow, and a crab wants to fight off a parasite. So there's always this like ebb and flow of the parasite is doing really well, that the crab is doing really well, and then there's just this trade-off of like not too much and just enough. You know, this parasite wants to be able to be a parasite and to live and to become this barnacle and to carry on growing, but it doesn't want to do it enough to destroy populations of crabs. And I find that balance, and that nature is able to balance the two together, really, really fascinating. So although we might be sad for the crab, the barnacle itself is another organism that is doing well. So you kind of, you kind of got to be a bit sad and also happy that one is doing okay. At least it's found a host and is going to do all right. And I like it as an example reminder that often in nature we go with the more charismatic creature as the one that should be okay. Like lots of people love crabs, and I can completely understand how people would want the crab to survive and this to not happen to the crabs. But it's also important to remember that parasitic barnacles and barnacles in general are also other creatures, and they are there to live their lives and reproduce and do the same things that sort of crabs do. So it is that trade-off in nature of, yes, it might be harsh, but also it means that we have lots of cool and different species. And as someone who is the world's biggest barnacle fan, I could not be more pleased to have found this today. It's not often that you find this here where I am. There are other places where it is a bit more prominent and I've seen it more before, but I cannot wait to take pictures. I just can't believe I got to share this with you all and to show you on camera, because this is so cool. This is awesome. This is really epic. I'm going to take some pictures and then we'll put this zombie crab back. But go barnacle, but poor crab.